Good day everyone, I am Castillo Nicole Angela, and today I will share to you the different curriculum evaluation model. So first curriculum evaluation model is the Bradley Effectiveness Model. In 1985, L.H. Bradley wrote a handbook on curriculum leadership and development. This book provides indicators that can help measure the effectiveness of a developed or written curriculum. For purposes of the classroom teachers, some of the statements were simplified. But first, in Bradley Effectiveness Model, you have to identify what curriculum you will evaluate, whether it's an elementary science curriculum, teacher education curriculum, or field study curriculum. And then you will find out if the curriculum that you are evaluating answer yes or no. Okay, so here is a matrix with 9 indicators. Then ato sa kilid, kinay nakabutang or label nga yes or no. In there, you will put if the indicators answer the question yes or no. So, first indicator is the vertical curriculum continuity. Does the curriculum reflect the format of K-12, OBE, inquiry, etc. that enables teachers quickly access what is being taught in the grade or year levels below above the current level? So, when we say vertical curriculum, it refers to the consistency of care and education through the programs that children experience. Basically, nag-align siya. For example, if you are looking at Science 5, below means Science 4. And above is Science 6. So, Science 4, Science 5, Science 6. And if good siya sa imuhang curriculum, then you will put yes. Now, second, horizontal curriculum. Does the curriculum provide content and objectives that are common to all classes of the same to all classes of the same grade level? So, understandable ang horizon curriculum, no? Ang content and ang objectives ay common lang siya or sa usara siya kay year level. Dili siya nga mausab-usab sa kuan. Depende sa imuhang gihimo nga curriculum. So, dapat align ang curriculum objectives and content sa usa ka grade level. For example, English 101 for all first-year college students. So, maura na siya. Then, instruction based on curriculum are lesson plans, syllabi, course design derived from the curriculum and strategies. Are the material used correlated with the content, objectives, and activities? So, instruction-based, basically, ang imuhang plano, ang imuhang mga design nga gamiton or ang materials kay gikan gid siya sa curriculum guide or reliable siya ba, valid siya nga mag-connect or mag-correlate sa imuhang content o sa imuhang target na curriculum. Broad involvement. Is there evidence of involvement in the different curriculum stakeholders in planning, designing, and implementation and review of the curriculum? So, understandable lang siya, no? Let's proceed to long-range planning. Is review cycle followed within the period of planning and implementation of the curriculum? If yes, imong ibutang yes. If no, then no ang imong ibutang. Positive human relation. Did the initial thoughts about the curriculum come from teachers, principal, curriculum leaders, and other stakeholders? So, if yes, then you will put yes. And no, if no, no ang imong ibutang sad. So, inanara kaisi ang Bradley Effectiveness Model if unsaon mo pag-identify if ang curriculum imong gihimo kay good siya or dili. Then, ika-8 na indicator, theory into practice. Is there clarity of vision, mission, graduation outcomes, program philosophy, learning outcomes in the curriculum? And lastly, planned change. Are there tangible evidence to show that the internal and external public accept the developed program? So first, you have to show it ang imuhang curriculum maghihimo so para i-approve pa na siya if nag-show ba siya o if develop na gid ba na nga curriculum or if naapay mga changes na himuon, then diri nimo ibutang pod ang yes or no. Now, if the indicators is answered with a no, action should be made to make it yes. Now, let's proceed to Tyler Objective-Centered Model. Now, Ralph Tyler in 1950 proposed a curriculum evaluation model which until now continues to influence many curriculum assessment processes. His monograph was entitled Basic Principles of Curriculum and Instruction. Now, if you here's another table of Tyler's model. In using the Tyler's model, the following curriculum components and processes are identified in curriculum evaluation. So, kani, same ra po siya sa Bradley Effectiveness Model, kay ang imong i-answer or action nga take nimo kay yes or no ra po siya. So, first, curriculum element, the objectives or intended learning outcomes. Second, situation or context. Third, evaluation instruments or tools. Fourth, utilization of tool. Fifth, analysis of results. And last, number 6, element, utilization of results. So, if you try to read the description of the evaluation process, you will easily just understand this one. So, I will just run through with this. So, objectives or intended learning outcomes, predetermined intended learning outcomes or objectives. So, dapat ang imuhang curriculum na himon kinagid kay objectives or intended learning outcome para naka-expectation kung unsa ang product nga or ang result sa imuhang gihimo nga curriculum. Second, situation or context. Identify the situation, context that gives opportunity to develop behavior or achieve objectives. Understandable lang po siya. Third, evaluation instrument or tools. Select, modify, and construct evaluation instrument or tools. So basically, upon making curriculum, you should also have to choose or modify what evaluation instrument or tools you are going to use para mas ma-effective ang imuhang teaching plan. And utilization of tool. Utilize the tools, obtain results. Kung unsa imuhang gigamit or na-choose nga, gi-indicate nimo dito sa imuhang teaching plan na tools na imong gamiton, of course, you should also utilize that one. Dili kay kung imo ra to siyang gibutang para nara kay pakita, but sa actual na kay dili nimo siya gamiton. So, of course, you should utilize the tool. Analysis of result. Analyze the result obtained to determine strength and weaknesses. So, of course, imo pod ang imuhang curriculum nga gihimo kay you should determine or analyze ang iyahang mga strength and weaknesses. So, you will be able to adjust and make changes with it. And lastly, utilization of results. You'll use the result to make necessary modifications. Okay, now that's it for Tyler's model. So, Tyler's model is used when you develop a curriculum. So, marapod ka naghimo og lesson plan. Ani since ang imong mga indicators kay OBE or ILO, tools or instrument, utilization, etc. So, I won't further explain this one since obviously understandable ra siya and we already know how to identify if the evaluation process shows inclination. Now, Daniel Stufflebeam's context input process product model, or also known as CIPP. The CIPP model of curriculum evaluation was product of Phi Delta Kappa committee chaired by Daniel Stufflebeam. So it has the 4 types of program: the context evaluation, input evaluation, process evaluation, and lastly the product evaluation. So sa context, it is context evaluation assesses needs and problems in the context for decision makers to determine the goal and objectives of the program or curriculum. Yeah, so this context evaluation provides the information for the development and evaluation of mission, vision, values, goals, and objectives, then prioritize the purpose. The second one is the input evaluation. So the purpose of input evaluation is to help to prescribe a program by which to make needed changes. During input evaluation, expert evaluators and stakeholders identify or create potentially relevant approaches, and then they will assess the potential approaches and help formulate a responsive plan. Sa process evaluation, this determines whether the program or activities have been implemented as intended and resulted in certain outputs. Now, last one, products. So, product evaluation measures and analyzes the result during and after the education and examine the overall efficacy of the program. So, basically, mauna ni siya ang process. Na siya'y context, input, ang process, and ang product sa imuhang curriculum. So, for all the 4 stages, it has steps nga gisuggest. So, sa context evaluation, step 1, identify the kind of decision to be made. Step 2, identify the kinds of data to make that decision. Sa context evaluation na siya. And then sa input evaluation, collect the data needed. So, you have to collect all the data that you needed sa imuhang curriculum. And step 4, na siya sa process evaluation, establish the criteria to determine quality of data. So, of course, you have to set criteria on how to, upon determining how reliable and valid the data that you have collected. Then, step 5, analyze data based on the criteria. And step 6, organize needed information needed for decision makers. So, after nimo makolek ma-organize ang kuan, ang information nga imuhang ginid, kay you have to approach this one sa mga decision makers in order for them to see the result and give feedback. So, if na mga improvement or changes, makabaw sila kung unsa ilahang buhaton. Now, the last model is the stake responsive model. Responsive model is more directly to program activities than program intents. So, evaluation focuses more on the activities rather than intent or purpose. So, here's the Robert Stake 1975 recommends the following steps to the curriculum evaluator. So, it has 9 steps. Then, step 1, meet with stakeholders to identify their perspective and intention regarding with the curriculum evaluation. So, after nimo makahimo sa imuhang curriculum, you should also have to approach this one to the curriculum, stakeholders to gather also their perspective or idea towards the curriculum that you're evaluating. And step 2, draws from step 1 documents to determine the scope of the evaluation. So, step 2, you're going to back to the step 1 in order for you to determine kung unsa ang sakop sa imuhang curriculum nga gi-evaluate. Step 3, observes the curriculum closely to identify the unintended sense of implementation and any deviation from the announced intent. Step 4, identifies the stated real purposes of the program and the various audiences. So, you're going to identify what is the real purpose of the program, and also, you should also take into action your audiences. Kung sakto ba niyang imuhang mga gihimo, kung maswak ba siya sa edad, sa interest, sa imuhang audience. Step 5, identifies the problem of the curriculum evaluation at hand and identifies an evaluation design with needed data. Step 6, select the means needed to collect data or information. Step 7, implements the data collection procedure. Step 8, organize the information into themes. And step 9, lastly, decides with stakeholders the most appropriate formats for the report. So at the end, you're still going to make connection with the stakeholders in order for them to choose the most appropriate format sa imuhang report, and mas effective siya and efficient ang curriculum nga imong gihimo. Okay, so responsive evaluation is an approach to the program evaluation which focuses in seizing the usefulness of evaluation. So, mauna siya ang purpose sa responsive stake responsive model. And that's all. Thank you.